and it's a little bit of boring science, and a little bit of acne bacteria overgrows, and then you get a clog, and then you cause inflammation, et cetera, et cetera. So why does it change a little bit as we get older? I think the actual mechanism and the science of why acne develops still stays the same. Genetically, we're different in how our body sees different hormones. So the best way I sort of describe it to my patients is estrogen and testosterone almost act as yin and yang to each other in the body. And when, say, a female develops adult onset acne, it's often that we do have dropping estrogen levels starting even in our early 20s. And so the body may see more testosterone and then the skin will react to that. So it's that balance. And it's not necessarily the hormone levels are off in your body, it's these deeper cystic ones that we're dealing with. Some of you have probably heard this hack. You can use a little bit of Vicene and it just takes the red out a little bit. Of course, camouflage helps. I always recommend a spot treatment. Like I love that spot treatment because it's not too drying. You don't want a product that's ultra, because then you end up, I don't know, those of you who use spot treatments probably know, where then you have all this peely skin around it, and then that makes you want to pick more. So you definitely want to, break those processes. I'm going to be upfront. If it's your wedding, if you're going to a really important casting call, get a relationship with a dermatologist. It's easy to get in there. A slight cortisone shot will actually make that baby go away very, very quickly, and it might even save you some scarring if it's a deeper cystic thing that can stick around sometimes for like 2 weeks. So I know not everyone has access to that, so I want to give you those little tips and tricks too. And so, but if you can, I think it is really helpful. And you want to establish that relationship ahead of time, so you're not calling someone, I need to get in today, so it's always good to have someone on speed dial for that, for your big day. If you're about to get married, get that in gear.
Yeah. But I think you touched on it, and part of the reason why we are always afraid of taking out our acne is the risk of scarring. And so that's really something that sometimes consumers say, I actually don't care that much about the fact that I have acne, especially when you're a teenager. Fortunately, a lot of people have acne, so it's a little easier to deal with than when you're, a little later in life. But there's a lot of fear about, what's next, because maybe it's going to last for 2 years and it's going to go away, but the scars might, stay for life. So what are the right ways to prevent scars? What are the right ways, if you only have the scars, to prevent, to actually correct them?
So the bottom line is acne is better prevented than being what I call proactive than reactive to acne. So if you have some acne, you really want to treat the whole face and get a good skincare regimen. Spot treatments, as much as we want to do it when a spot comes up, is never going to be as effective. I want to make sure that there's differentiation because I think there's a lot of confusion out there. At least I see it. Acne scarring, true acne scarring, is usually things like pitted scars, what we call ice pick scars, like a depression. It can be like a boxcar kind of depression, or what we call a rolling scar. There's a true kind of terrain difference, right? There are depressions and elevations in the skin. That's true acne scarring, and that's forever. And there are things that we can do to mitigate it a little bit, but that's forever. A lot of what people refer to as acne scarring, even beauty editors to me, is hyperpigmentation or just discoloration from acne. The good news is that's not permanent, and that there are lots of things, and a lot of the products that we're talking about that actually help acne, that have ingredients like barjoxy acid or glycolic acid, promote exfoliation, and it helps acne, and it'll promote that pigment to move away a lot faster too. So that's not true acne. It's not true scarring. It's called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And I'd say 70% of the people who say they have acne scarring, that's actually what they have, thank God, because that can be treated very easily. Again, over-the-counter products that contain those ingredients, if you want to be a little more aggressive in an office with chemical peels at higher strengths, can really lift that color, and even some of the lasers that we talked about. The true acne scarring, where the skin is depressed and there's terrain differences, that's permanent, and that's why we want to get to these patients before they develop any of it. And as soon as we see it, we sort of jump on it. Victoria, who's here with me, works with me in my clinic. You can have one acne spot on your face when you see me, but if I see one scar, I get pretty aggressive, and I start thinking about oral medications. And I think when that starts happening, it's really time to seek a dermatologist's help, because you want to be aggressive, and you just don't want to waste time, because the second scar you get, the third scar, they're not going away.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
You can feel this. Perfect. So, you guys can get up close after I do the first couple of minutes. It's such little downtime, which patients are really appreciative. Your sort of pink birthday feels like a light foundation, and I'm happy to demo on few people's hands if you guys are interested. It just feels like light sandpaper, and what that is are the little microscopic laser zones, and they kind of go away after a week, and the skin is like glowing. It's just gorgeous. The pores are minimized by this procedure too. We do it a lot for that purpose. Doing okay? Right.
And for scarring too, of course.
Yeah, and then because of the neocollagenesis that it induces, it helps with mild acne scarring. I tell everyone this requires a series of treatments. You'll see a difference after one. You'll get a glow, and you'll get softening of the acne scar. But the truth is, what I tell people is you like it after one, love it after two, and probably addicted after 30. That's kind of my usual MO.
What's usually the cost of this?
If you're not at the stage where you're going to a dermatologist and getting a special treatment,
Yeah.
you wake up and you get a few and you're like, what do I do now?